Hello everyone, Silvia Isachsen here, and I'm really excited about this show because a lot of people were commenting on a poll that I created, and it was about exploring reincarnation. And about over 70% of people said they did believe in reincarnation. Then we had another smaller percentage saying that they weren't sure about reincarnation. And then we had some that were adamantly against reincarnation. So as you can see by the title of the show, it's about exploring reincarnation. So I want to make sure that I explain and express this, that I don't want to change your belief system or challenge your belief system, but I do really want to explore the topic of reincarnation, and I hope that your hearts and minds are open today. Let's make sure that everybody is seeing and hearing me okay just before we start. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to comment below. If you're here live, say hello. It's going to be an exciting show today. Chris B says, hi friend. This is an interactive show, and today I'm going to be inviting some of my members who are on my YouTube channel. So we have a membership section, and they are going to come on and ask some questions halfway through. Hi, Amanda from Johannesburg, so far away. Thank you so much for joining us today. So normally I do these live Saturday spiritual shows ad lib. And today I've written down some notes. So you might see me writing some notes down. And Shelly, can you hear me okay? Am I loud enough? Hello, Wolfgang. My husband is here with me, and I just want to let everyone know who's watching today that if you are a member, that I'll be doing it halfway through. You can come and ask questions. Right now, I won't be able to help you, but halfway through. Good morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, Lily Jane. Okay, so I've written some notes, and you'll see me reading my notes. Usually I don't. So first things first, let's explore the topic of reincarnation. Second, I know that it is a hot spot and a popular topic because when I put out a poll, it showed that a lot of people were interacting with that poll. Also, it's something I really feel near and dear to my heart that I would like to explore in this spiritual community. So welcome to the spiritual community today on my YouTube channel, where every Saturday we go live. Okay, so I want to say hi, Maria, hi, Toby, and hi, Cynthia. Okay, so now the next thing is that for those of you who don't know me, I'm Silvia Isachsen, the author of Downloads from Heaven and a dreamer. I have dreams that, well, I don't really know how to describe it as of yet. Basically, they're showing me, I want to say, truths that bring me joy in my life. And the purpose of my channel is to create spiritual community and joy and create heaven on earth together here with you. All right, so now what I want to talk about is that you can support this channel, by the way, by simply liking this video, commenting below, and I appreciate that support very much so. We also have super chats that you can do if you want to support it, because we're growing. And I've noticed that the needs are more, so this is really becoming something of an awesome community. I'm really excited to have you here. Okay, so again, I gave you the disclaimer that I don't want to change your belief systems, and the reason I'm saying this is because I had a few people send me personal messages very vehemently telling me their feelings about reincarnation. And if you feel inflexible about this topic, it's okay. It's fine. And I hope you can let us all enjoy it here today. Let me know how you feel. The sound is kind of echoey, is it? Okay. How about now? Let me know now how the sound is. Awesome. Okay, and next, there is a saying, and the saying goes, to avoid criticism, you need to say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. Therefore, I'm going to stand up for all of us, where we are going to say something and do something for our own spiritual growth. Okay, and now I want to get into it. Now, let's do this. So, I've been thinking a lot about this topic ever since I had the dream. Thank you for the super chat, Lily Jane. That was generous. I appreciate you supporting my channel and allowing this to happen every Saturday live. Okay, so ever since I had my dream about Jesus, and that was at December the 4th of last year, he said something to me that stuck with me. Everything stuck with me. But this particular statement was, Sylvia, you, me, we are Alpha and Omega. Our life never ends. You will live forever. However, this experience, meaning my life, has a beginning and an end. So when Jesus spoke to me with his hand like this in front of his chest and directly to me like that, he was downloading wisdom and information into me that I couldn't have generated on my own in a million years. He shared this with me, and what I felt like was that this was one experience. So if there is one experience, how many more experiences can we have? Thanks again, everyone. Thanks, Jim, Shelley, Shauna, Allison, and Renata, and VG. Wow, we've got a lot of people here today. Echo. Okay, let me go in there and fix this echo issue because apparently there's an echo. I'm going to go to, this gives me a chance anyways to have a sip of tea. I'm going to go to audio settings. It'll only take me a moment. Now, how is the echo at this point? You can let me know. I did turn something off and on, so let me know if you could still hear it. Okay. I don't know if I'm awesome or if the sound is awesome. You guys are great. Thanks for being here today. All right. Well, you know what? Let's do this for a second. I can change. How does this sound? I changed my microphones to the system microphone. Okay, so let me know how that's going. I changed it to the system one. All right, much better, much better. Can you hear me okay? Yes, hey. So this message has to come through. Yes, you guys are so helpful. I feel your love when you guys are responding and telling me everything's okay or telling me about the mic. Just so much love in my heart for you. Somebody named Old Man said, well, of course we existed before our births. How long? How did we do it? It would be really interesting to know. That is an interesting comment, Old Man. And you called yourself that, so I'm just following suit. Anyways, where were we before we were born? That's the thing, right? So instead of looking at, will I be reincarnated? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? I want you to shift and turn your entire perspective to asking yourself, where was I before I was born? So when you think about that, where you came, we all came through our mothers, and we all came into this world, and we were born. And we came as souls, and we developed as humans with this nose, this face, because of physical DNA, genetic memory, generational genetic memory. Thank you for the super chat, Shelley G. So super sweet. Thank you. Very generous. Okay, so we have this genetic memory, and we come in, but we also have a soul memory, a soul desire, a soul vibration. Are you with me? So all these soul energies, including the DNA memory, including all of the things. And I'm going to back this up too with a little bit of scripture. Shelley G., who is the moderator in this room, who's also one of the loyalist people who have been here since the very beginning of time. All of you guys are loyal, but she's been here since day one. So she's going to bring some scripture on for us today. Anyways, moving along. So we have all this energy, and we bring it into this earth. Now, what determines whether we have a good incarnation or a not so good incarnation? And then what determines what's not good? So I'll use myself as the example. When I was born, I had a real struggle growing up. It was a real struggle. And I viewed life that it was tough on me and it felt unfair. And I, as a consequence, became angry, and I also didn't trust. Has anybody else had that experience? I know that my next NDE guest, his name is Johnny Davis. I interviewed him the other day. I can't wait to share this because he had the similar problem. His father stepped away from the family and he felt very angry about this. Anyways, if you've ever felt that before, where you have been abandoned and you've lost faith and you wonder, what is the meaning of this all? Why would I have ever come to be born in this life under these circumstances? Or perhaps somebody that you loved passed away and you feel angry with God because this happened, and you feel, deep down inside, you're probably just heartbroken if this has happened to you before. So basically things happen and they're happening for us, not to us, but we don't understand because we don't see the big picture. And the big picture is that we've come here to learn lessons. And I used to feel a bit ashamed of the lessons that I had to learn. And some of them were to do with selfishness. And it really, I almost don't want to say those words, but we all have things like we need to overcome selfishness. We need to overcome all of the gamut of the human condition, such as division and how we feel about one another. And one of the biggest hurdles that we all experience, and I guess it goes under the title of selfishness that we all do, is the fact that we think, this is for us, this is for you. You are this, I am that. I only care about me and my loved ones. I don't care about other people. So this is an issue as a humankind that we have, which leads me into the conversation about reincarnation. So reincarnation, we pass away, we go to an area of healing, and we know through the NDE experiencers, and I've been there in my dreams, where you are absolutely loved and you're in a beautiful environment where you're healed, and you either meet loved ones, Jesus, God, the universe, whomever it is, the angels, your spirit guides, whichever label you choose to place on it, but you go there. Then perhaps your spirit either wants to experience or needs to experience some healing in areas that can only be done through perhaps coming to this earth or going to a different dimension and living out an experience that will help you. So let me give you an example of going about it in a soulful way and in a destructive way. So why do I care about the destructive way? I'll tell you in a moment. Do not let me forget this because this is super important. So through a soulful way, when things happen, we have, hi Lily Jane, I tip people for bringing me a plate of food. This is soul food. Oh, thank you. That is very kind of you. Right, so we come here, and a soulful way to react to things that happen is, I have faith in God, I have faith in Jesus, or I have faith in whomever you believe. I don't want to try to convert you from whatever you believe, but I'm just sharing what I believe. So I have faith, and I say, Jesus and God know that what is best for me to learn, especially when very, very impactful things happen in our lives where it was out of our control and it just happened. And you have to have faith. And faith makes you whole because you feel hurt and you feel broken at the loss of one thing or another in your life. We all have, somebody has a health problem, somebody has a financial problem, somebody has a love problem where a loved one or their spouse is not working out, right? So you have faith in knowing, not trying to impose our will on anyone, just having faith and going through prayer and meditation. Prayer to ask for more understanding and for forgiveness, and meditation to listen to the Holy Spirit, God, the message coming to you, Jesus coming to you, your guides, your relatives coming to you to listen. If we need to take that time, and the most positive aspect would be allowing for that to happen. I've experienced this. It healed me, including, and this was in meditation. It wasn't necessarily in a dream. So this is accessible to everybody, even if you don't dream. And I'll be reading comments in a moment. Okay, so let's look at it from a negative perspective for a moment, if we can. So, from a negative perspective, it is, and I'm quoting people who left me messages that unfortunately I had to remove because they were so intense from my channel. I create a happy, pleasant, joyful room and community, so sometimes I have to remove some of the remarks. So, I hate this life, this is hell on earth, blah, blah, blah. All these things that are being said. I don't agree with that. However, there are some people who do feel those ways, and I have compassion in my heart. I understand, and I do not judge. However, when you show up in the world to people, in a room, in a place, in a family, in anywhere you are as a human being, when you show up with that energy, it just creates catastrophic more of what you don't want. So then people think, well, if I die, everything's going to be fine and I'm going to, either go to heaven or go to hell, it will be over. No, not so. You take yourself wherever you go, which means that whatever vibration you're choosing here on earth and within yourself, you might not remember your identity, you might not remember your name, you might not remember anything, but you will never escape the essence of who you are. And the essence of who you are truly is God. And these are the layers that we need to let go of to become, this is the layers that we need to let go of to become whole. I do not dwell or give power to any other energies. However, I do want to mention this. In one of my dreams I had, they showed me how my behavior that day, I was at work, and this was years ago, and I was really frustrated and angry about something at work, and I went to sleep that night, and I had a dream, and the dream is on YouTube. Basically, they showed me how when we do these small things, or these things that we think are not that important, when we get frustrated, angry, cut people off or whatever, it goes up into an energy form like a cloud, and it goes around and it rains on people. This is why it's important to be your best self and happy, because you are literally influencing the outcome of your reality, because that energy goes all over the earth, regardless of whether you created it or not. The energy is there. Now, if you stick with your faith, what I mean by that is if you keep your energetic level beautiful, joyful, and positive, you are in a bubble somewhat. However, maybe you can relate to this. You're here on earth, you feel happy, you feel joyful, you feel spiritual, you're happy and everything, but you can see what's happening around you, right? Okay, so I'm going to read some comments right now because I want to know how you're doing. Shelly G, yay, dolphin clicks now. Okay, so scripture we have are not for reincarnation. However, actually there was a scripture and it was in one of the 10 commandments. There were a few scriptures, and I apologize that I didn't write them down. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to post them below. And one of the 10 commandments was talking about why it's important to not go in the negative realm, and that is because it talks about generations. It will stay with you for generations to come. I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 generations to come. If somebody wants to look at the 10 commandments and quote that here, have at her. By the way, halfway through this stream, I'm going to allow some of my members who have chosen to come on. I will let you know when it's time to call in, and they have the link. Okay. So in that quote, in that spiritual quote, what I want to tell you is that the reason why they talk about generations to come is, guess what? if you are great to your family and you build a family legacy or just a legacy here on earth with your earth brothers and sisters like me and you and everyone, you come back to that. If you're going to reincarnate, you reincarnate to that. So it's in our best interest to create a legacy of heaven on earth, because we cannot let go of our responsibility to wherever we are at. And whatever vibration we keep is what's going to show up for us. Now this is real tricky, what I'm about to say, okay? And I'm very interested to hear what you have to say about this. Some people say, what do you think of hell, Sylvia? What do you think of hell? Do you think hell exists? And I'm going to answer that for you. And I'm going to answer it in a way that I feel I do know, because some things I don't know, of course. But this is something I do know. I know that right here on earth, there are different people who are experiencing hell right now. They don't have enough food, they don't have enough shelter, they don't have enough love, they haven't been loved, they feel sick, they're down and out, and everything that they see around them looks like hell. Then there are other people on earth right now that are sitting there smelling flowers, walking in the sunshine, enjoying their life. They have more than their needs met, and they are enjoying this existence. So yeah, right here on earth we can see examples of that. So why is it that we as a spiritual community, generally speaking, not all of you, generally speaking, why do we think that when we leave this plane that everything is going to be so different? I will give you that you will be absolutely part of the universe and you'll feel love like no other. But remember, you're bringing yourself, your vibration with you. Therefore, wherever you go, that's how you show up. That's how critical this conversation is that get right with your soul and open your heart and bring that love out now. Don't wait. Don't wait that it's your relative that you be loving towards. Love everyone. Of course, you have to take care of yourself and protect yourself and your energy, but you're going to come back to the situation that you left. And your relatives play a role together with you. Now, I know not everybody is on board with this, but hear me out. We're exploring, okay? When you come back, you're going to come back with the same soul, family, and friendships. Maybe more that you made, maybe less. So isn't it in our best interest to do the best that we can while we're right here? We're not escaping. And I don't mean to bring fear, but this is it. Like, it's not like we're here, we're there, we're different, we're never going to be this. No, we're alive for an eternity, and that's a long time. So every experience or lifetime that we have, we are learning and growing and getting better. And as soon as we take responsibility for our vibration and for the manifestation that we see in front of us, including our body, our health, our wealth, our love, the universe, the stars, everything that we see, until that day comes, we feel powerless. I don't feel powerless, I feel powerful, because I recognize that I'm a co-creator with God. Someone got real upset on my channel the other day because they said, do not ever call yourself God. They were actually referring to one of my interviews that the interviewee said that. And I will say to you that God lives right inside of you and made you in his image. So the reality is that it's inevitable we'll get back to God, but how much do you want to suffer until then? That's the question. How much do we want to suffer? How many lifetimes do we want to have? How many experiences do we need to go through? Not that they're bad, but how many until we gain that responsibility? I'm going to check out the chat for a moment, okay? So Balancer00 says, so our bodies and our souls have providence and history. Yes, they do. Of course they do. And old man, we are God's offspring. So what does that make us? Yes, exactly. That light that animates your soul. So some of you might know I have a background in Italian. My parents were Italian. And the word anima means soul. And to animate your body, you have a soul. Your soul is the creator, that light that God put in you and is connected with all souls and with God. Therefore, you have life because that's what God gave us, the light, the breath of life. Wow. Talk about being grateful. I mean, I feel so much tremendous love and energy in me all the way through my body. And it makes me want to cry. I mean, we are made in His image, and it's time that we stand up, start loving, start acting, start embracing God. And to stop looking for some man sitting in the sky, because maybe God is some man sitting in the sky, but God lives within us, the female, the male, all of creation within us. Okay. Lily Jane, welcome Thomas. Soyo, I fear coming back as a bad person. I want to continue doing good in this world. Soyo, cool. Then just do it. Just like what Nike says, just do it. If you want to be good, you have the power to be good. It's within your power to choose one thing or another. And there's a name for that. It's called free will. And with free will, you are a child of God that has a choice of how you want to experience your life and how you choose to treat others. And we had a great spiritual teacher named Jesus Christ who came on earth to show us the way and the truth. He wasn't trying to brag about himself. He was saying, hey, this is the way, this is the truth. Hear what I'm saying. I'm here to help you. Okay, it wasn't that well received at that time, 2,000 years ago. If God lived in us, why are the lessons so cruel? Thank you, Renata, for asking. You may or may not like this answer. And again, I'm coming from what my experience is. Please take it as that and that alone. It's the way we interpret it. At the beginning of the stream, I talked about that. When we don't believe in that our existence is divinely guided. We feel that everything is happening to us and not for us. And the lessons that we need to learn. So for example, your particular resistance to your life at this moment and choosing to look at the resistance, not that it's a bad thing, no judgment, but when you choose to look at resistance rather than gratitude for what we do have, we always want to cry and be sad and be mad and be angry and not like life and hate and create the big evil cloud. No, let's be positive and grateful and loving and generate heaven on earth. It's not going to happen by itself. It requires all of us to join in with God. See, God's making it happen anyways, by the way. Just a clarification there, it's us that we need to open up to God and to let God in our hearts, despite and regardless of any circumstances, situation, and that's called faith, and faith makes you whole. Okay, VG, those who have eyes to see God in heaven, anything done for the glory of God will lead to the reward in life. Excellent. When something tragic happens as a child, it seems to take longer. Absolutely, Allison. Yes, I get it. And that's where all of your brothers and sisters, meaning us, have to come to you with open, compassionate hearts, no judgment. And we need to love on you and heal you. And we have the power. Yes or no? Do we have the power to heal through being loving, through giving? Well, we can't hug right now, but to hug, to love, to care, to pay attention to. Do we have the power to heal, yes or no? Have you ever made someone feel better by sharing your love and care with them? I know you have. And that is healing. And when somebody is really experiencing a very overwhelming lesson, it's up to us. Many people did that for me. You guys are doing that for me right now. This is a healing process that I'm experiencing with you right here, right now. And you can be part of it as much as you want to step up to the plate to receive the love, as much as you want to show up. So right now, there's about a dozen people speaking and 54 people watching. When you get off the sidelines and jump in and start loving on yourself, loving on your brothers and sisters, you're a part of that community. But it takes courage. It takes authenticity. It takes vulnerability. It takes that to love people because we're so afraid to perhaps be hurt or experience bad things. And we need to start opening up and healing and loving people for no religious reason, because we are children of God. That's why. For no particular sect or whatever. We are human beings and we're all connected. We all have very similar DNA and very similar purposes here together on earth. Okay, Jim, I know there are cruel things that happen, but what is it that we can learn from it? Exactly, right? What can we learn from it? So in the case of the upcoming NDE that I have coming up, and by the way, thank you so much for all your chats, but in the case of the NDE, the gentleman, Johnny Davis, he learned to love and to be responsible. He was so hurt by his father abandoning his 6 kids, of one of which he was, that he went through life angry and mad. And when he forgave, but you see, forgiveness is also coming to terms with yourself and forgiving yourself. And the lesson he had to learn. And now he's the best father, the best of all things, because he understands what it means to be without. He knows what the opposite means. And you make a distinct choice in your life to either go down that road or go down this road. Come on down this road with me. I want to go to the joyful, happy, peaceful, loving, heavenly place. That's what this channel is about. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to read some of the comments. Old man said, when I went to Guatemala, some of the happiest people were there and they had nothing, right? So it really has nothing to do with whether you have material things or you don't. Okay, let's read some more. Maria says, this makes so much sense. And Shanna says, at Balancer001, I think the dolphin clicks are when someone posts in the chat. Yes. Oh, right. Okay. You guys are posting super chats. You can post a sticker or you can donate to the channel, which is awesome. I absolutely love it because I've committed now. I've decided today in front of the mirror getting ready that I'm going to continue every Saturday to go live and share with you guys. I also have some other surprises for you guys too. And then Jim, okay, I read that about Jim. And then Brooke, Jesus, and I don't know about that, Brooke. I don't even like to use those words because the negative words, because I don't want to bring any of that vibration in my life. I'm not scared of it. I don't want it. I want the joy. I want the peace. I want the love. I want the light. I want those things. And therefore I call and look for those things. I don't need to entertain anything else. That is a waste of my personal time. Let's get back to the topic of reincarnation. Jim says, I must have had the worst karma, worse than a chameleon. Really? Okay. So let's go back down here. I believe we suffer because we can learn how to love unconditionally. Sonia, yes and no. Okay, yes and no. Yes, because you're here on my channel and thank you so much. And I do believe we can learn from suffering. But there comes a time when we need to step out of suffering. And we need to help others step out of suffering. And I think that there's been a lot of people that have told us that suffering is good, that we need to suffer, that we deserve to suffer, that we're sinful and bad and piling on all this rubbish. Not true. We don't need to suffer. We can open up our hearts today. We can heal people today. We can love one another today. Not tomorrow, not the next day, not the next life, but right now. The reason I brought up this reincarnation is because of this very reason. Live your best life right now. Don't worry about what happened before. Don't worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, because God has you in his, her hands. We are in those hands. And if you're concerned at all, then take that concern and shift that energy into doing and being the best person that you can, being your right self, being your good self. If you waste your energy complaining and hurting and suffering and ruminating in that and think that it's actually a good thing, here's what you're doing. You're procrastinating. You're procrastinating on living your best life, because living your best life takes courage. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes love. It takes responsibility. The ability to respond to your brothers and sisters who love and need you. Now, I know it's a scary place. I know this is scary where we're going, because who can we trust? right? We do something good for someone, they do something bad back. The problem is that somebody's got to shift it. Somebody's got to change it, and it belongs to us. And we have to create communities, just like I'm creating a community right now. We have to create communities that actually grow spiritual love. And here's how you don't do it. I am this, you are that. I am this, I am right, you are wrong. This is that. I believe this, you believe that, so we're not together. No, I don't agree. Baloney. I think we should all appreciate, put down our beliefs, because our beliefs are what are protecting us, and open up our hearts. What, Sylvia? Put down our beliefs? What are you talking about? I was told this, and that. Problem is if it divides you with your brothers and sisters, it's not working. Speaking of which, you know how we have country anthems and we have all that? Wouldn't it be great if we had a global anthem? Wouldn't it be good if we thought in terms of brother and sister rather than, apart? So I know I'm going far when I say this, because right now we can't even stand, some of us can't even stand the people who are around us. So to go global seems unrealistic, but I'm going to ask you to start where you are. Start loving yourself first. That's the first place. Love yourself, nurture yourself, care for yourself, nurture yourself, love yourself. Then next level, love those around you, be kind to those around you, pay attention. Do you know that when you pay attention, it shows so much love? You don't have to go and do extraordinary things to be good. You have to do the things that are needed right there. Okay, Kate. Yes, One World Anthem. Kate, I didn't see you on Sunday. I hope I see you next Sunday. I loved having you there. And Kate is doing the Abundance Challenge. By the way, right in the link, if you haven't already, please like and comment on my channel. Why? Because it helps me to grow the channel and it contributes to my channel. So if you don't want to donate a super chat, that's cool. Like, comment, that is very helpful. If you want a super chat, you can. However, there is a sign up for the Abundance course that's coming out. It's called 3 Peaks: Health, Wealth, and Love. And under love, of course, there's spirituality and all of those great things under all of them. There's a link there. You can sign up to be notified when I launch on February. Okay, I've offered it for free the whole time, and my members get it for free. So if you want to be a member, you can. But anyways, I'm really excited about that, and I'm launching February 1st. Let's go back to this reincarnation conversation because it's so good. Okay, so Shelley G said, love your neighbors as yourself. How can you love them if you don't love yourself? Right. Okay, you know what's so cool is that, again, I do believe in Jesus. He told us everything we needed to know, everything we needed to do. And he came here a long time ago, and it's been hanging around his message, and now it's time to fulfill on the action of love. So can you ask yourself this question? Do you love yourself? A, do you love others? B, if you don't, if A or B is a no, can you start? C, can we start? Can we start right here, right now? Every Saturday, come and tell me. Tell me what is happening for you and how you are bringing light into the world. Start taking responsibility, accountability, but more importantly, I look at it as being empowered with the ability to transform people through healing and through love and through kindness, and taking that moment, whether it's a little dog, a little cat, a human being. Hi, how are you doing? Are you doing good? Need anything? A smile, kindness doesn't cost you a single thing. If you want to take it up another notch and do something more and you have it within your means, do that. If not, just be kind. And when you are too busy ruminating on suffering, there's no time. You ain't got time for love. Okay, Anna Rivera, I believe you are an angel. Oh, thank you so much. That's a little emotional, overwhelming. Thank you. Take a breath there. Thank you, Anna. Okay, and then Preliminal says, Sylvia, what is the major difference between selfish love and loving yourself? Good question. Okay. And 1 second, Tater Tot says, I'll get these names one day. Teeter Tot says, I love myself and others, sending love to everyone here today. Excellent. So Preliminal said, what's the major difference between selfish love and loving yourself? Well, let's break this down for a second here. When you love yourself, you understand that you're a human being and that perhaps you've been less than stellar. However, you're turning that boat around and you are not going to sit there and go, I'm going to hell, everything's bad, my life is bad, this incarnation. No. Okay, so I didn't understand things. I wasn't on the right track. It's time to get back into gear and get back on that horse and get going. Doing good, being the light. Doing good, being the light. Loving yourself is accepting who you are, wherever you are, and understanding that God lives inside of you and you can communicate freely. You're not hiding anything. God knows every single thing. So you're not hiding anything from God. The first thing is get right with God. Communicate, talk. You need a brother, go to Jesus or whoever you feel is going to make you feel. That's my go-to is Jesus. So you got to go and then get it right. Love yourself every day. Tell yourself you're okay, you're fine, you're glorious, you're wonderful, and start doing glorious things. And you can start by helping other people because that will make you feel good, okay? Freaky GC said, no one can judge perfectly but God. Even the most evil people began as innocent. Right. Okay, so Freaky GC, yeah, I've definitely learned that lesson in one of my meditations with God. We don't see the big picture. We don't understand entirely what God's plan is, but we can hope and pray to God that He gives us the wisdom and the vision to see what the plan is. Have the grace to give God space in your spirit, in your soul, so that you can hear what He wants for you. Okay, I want to find somebody who I haven't answered yet. And Anna, okay, I did. Okay, Lily Jane, welcome Kate. Cynthia, I have stronger soul connection with souls outside of my immediate family. I often joke and say, next lifetime we'll be together. Okay, Cynthia, you've got a good point, Cynthia. So I think a lot of people feel that way. I've felt that way before. But you know, our closest brothers and sisters, mothers, children, fathers, uncles, and those people have come with you to teach you and to learn. Like they've come in one of the most important roles. Regardless if you talk with them all the time, if you speak with them or communicate with them, they have come to teach you some very important roles. It's not an accident that you were born in that family. It's not an accident that you've been confronted with these specific challenges. These people are glorious souls. And whether you talk to them or not, that's your business. I'm not asking you to go talk to them. I didn't talk to my mother for, I feel bad to say this, for many, 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 many years. However, I realize now that she was here to teach me love, and boy, oh boy, did I learn it. It was a tough lesson. I was resistant to opening up and understanding, but I learned it. And I'm ever so grateful. And when I go and meet her, because she's gone already, I am going to give her the biggest hug. And we had the most challenging relationship, but it's going to be like that. And it's funny because I thought I was so close with my father, and I love my father too very much. But the first person I want to see and hug is my mom, because it was so tough and I just had to learn it. Yeah. Okay. And as a result of her, I love my son and my daughter to the moon and back. I'll give them my right arm, my left arm, whatever they want. It's happening for my children. Okay, and that kind of love, wouldn't it be like boombastic if we could do that and have that kind of love for everyone? Like, I know that that's a far departure from where we are right now, but imagine if we did. What is the Preliminal says, what's the first thing an open-minded person who really cares to know? Okay, an open-minded person who really cares to know is that you're perfect right now and that God lives in you, and you have the most powerful creative ability within yourself to co-create your reality today, right now. Boom. That's it. right there. If you guys knew that, never heard a single thing for the rest of the show, and you took that away and ran with it, and you became a co-creator of all good and created heaven on earth through your power here, you see, we feel so powerless and we're not good and blah, blah, blah. Don't subscribe to that channel, okay? I'm just telling you, you are powerful. If you're scared and you're procrastinating, that's one thing. But if you actually feel like you're not powerful, not true. I can say that with 100% conviction. I just want to make sure I hit all of my notes. So I do want to talk about this. What limits us to understanding reincarnation or being eternal or loving each other is our identification of who we think we are. Believe it or not. Who we think we are. Oh, I'm this, so I don't talk to that person. Well, I'm this and that person is that. Oh, I don't do this. And really, when you create an identification with yourself, a belief system, it automatically sets you up for judgment. Because we start believing in hierarchies, lateral, vertical ladders, and we start to look at people as, you're different. You're not me. You don't deserve this. I deserve this and that. And that creates the problem that we have today. And with reincarnation, for example, you could be born in Italy one time. You could be born in China another time. You could be born in South Africa. You could be born as this, as that, the other. I'm talking about as a human being. Please don't ask me if we're born to be a rock or an animal, because I don't know. I'm a human, and I do know this. And I do know that I've personally incarnated more than one time. So, as a human being, if we believed and understood that we come back as male, female, this, that, the other, we could come to terms with the fact that we are whole and that we have entire experiences. Everyone's quiet, so I must have said something shocking. Let me see. Did I say something shocking? Shah Q1, Shano. What I know about three religions, Christianity, Jewish, Muslims, they don't believe in reincarnation. Not true. Actually, the Jewish people did believe in reincarnation. However, they were, I just watched a documentary on it. Here's what I'm talking about. Classifications, identifications, belief systems. I think each one of those classifications is good for those who adhere to it, for when they adhere to it. Understand, religion has brought us a lot of. I don't think you're holier if you put anything down. But what I will say is I'm opening up a new avenue, a new way of thinking, a way of embracing God like no other. If you want to hold on to traditional ways of being, I honor and respect your decision and your choice. But I will say this, anything that divides you doesn't unite you. And anything that makes you a different human being than another human being doesn't. Very controversial, I know, I said it. But we love each other. And if you don't love someone because they're either this, or that, then that is problematic, because it really doesn't allow us to make heaven on earth. And it will invariably, every single time, create friction and problems. Every single time. That's 100% guarantee. Now, we can all live together and respect one another and have our belief systems. But, yeah, I think it's challenging. I do. Okay. And Christina said, reincarnation equals true. Well, you guys, it's coming up now where any of my members can come and join me. So if you want to call me now. And you can come and ask your question right live. You'll be right beside me on the screen, and you could come and talk to me. So if you are a member and you have subscribed and joined, which there's a join button underneath, you can call me. If you're feeling scared to come on, you don't need to, because I'll be real nice. So, Lily Jane, thank you for the lives on Saturday. Lily Jane, you know what? Thank you. You always are giving super chats, and I want you to know that it's necessary, it's needed, and it's appreciated. Thank you so much. And I am human, and I do get the Visa bill that comes in from the thing. So thank you for making this channel possible. I feel like you are a contributor. Shelley, you're a contributor, and any of you that do. Again, if you're not in a position to contribute like they have, you could always like and comment because that generates more traffic to the channel, which opens up our community to more people. Lori, how are you doing? Lori says, what's true for you is true for you. Yeah, right. You don't need to approve it. But I think that we really need to guard ourselves from saying that someone's right and someone's wrong, or the need to prove, or the need to be right. Let's get back to the topic of reincarnation here for just a little second. Out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer, we have 68 people here right now. Give me a Y for yes I do, and a no for no I don't, and an M for maybe. Y for yes and for no, and an M for maybe. Go ahead while I take a sip of tea. Do you believe in reincarnation? Only love is allowed here. You can say no though, but only love is allowed. Everybody who speaks to anyone in here speak through the power of love, through the filter of love. Yes, maybe, yes. I made this connection with your topic and what happened last night. I felt, oh, it's so sweet. I want to just acknowledge that person. Cynthia, thank you. Sonia, yes. Frick, hey, how you doing, Frick? I saw you commented on one of my posts. Thank you, Frick. And he does believe. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Meg. I love to watch your show, Sylvia. Thank you, and thank you, Meg. Okay, let's talk. A lot of people, maybes, yeses, not too many no's. So let's entertain a life with no reincarnation just for a second. Any members that want to come on, you can call me now too. The link is in the members post area. Okay, so let's pretend there's no reincarnation. It really doesn't make a difference. And you know what? You're not bound to reincarnate. You reincarnate because it's an opportunity. But let's say that there wasn't that. And you lived a life and then you went, and then God is going to embrace you and love you either way. Whether you lived 1,000 lives, one life, it doesn't make a difference. I think we need to get in our head that this is just an opportunity for us to create. And Lily Jane said, that paper clip box means so much to me because it was support no matter what. It was $2. Oh, thank you. Okay, so no reincarnation doesn't really change our life. It just means that we're limited in the opportunities that we can experience. And by the way, reincarnation isn't because you're bad. It's because perhaps you have some lessons to learn, or perhaps you want to experience something. Perhaps you want to reconfirm and reaffirm that. Why does it always have to be bad? Why does anything have to be bad for that matter? And we got to start understanding and opening up to the concept that good exists, God exists, that we have the power to generate heaven on earth. A world with wars and suffering, no way. Okay, so let's talk about that. Who is this world composed of? And who is the only people that war? I know. Human beings. I don't know of any other ones. Maybe animals over territories. But who has these catastrophic wars? We do. So who's in charge of not having those? We are. So don't feel powerless. You are a human being and we are human beings, and the buck stops here with us. Just saying they're making the war, this world is no good, it's all over, that's giving up. I don't give up. I do believe in my energy. I believe in your energy. And I believe that when we subscribe to higher energy and frequency and power, that we can transform this earth right now. We are generating it through within us. Those people who wish for greed and all that stuff, and I'm those people, I don't want to judge. Look, focus on the good and yourself. Don't always say, well, those people, this and that, right? It's about us generating good. What we teach our children, who we choose to be, our actions every day with the person in the grocery line, on the road, in your house, wherever you are. Stop judging, start loving. Okay. Believe in the power of prayer. Yes, believe in the power within you. Anna, can a person be taken to an evil realm? No. You are not going to go where you don't belong, no matter what. You're going to go to where you belong, not to where you don't belong. No, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not even going to go there. And hang on tight to God and your relationship to God and believe. You know, I say this with love in my heart. If you put your faith 100% in God, He's not letting you go nowhere. Like, the thing is, you might go there by yourself. You might generate that own reality on your own, but He's not, no one's taking you there except for, yeah, I really didn't want to get into that because it's highly controversial. But as I stated at the beginning of this show, right here on earth is your very proof that you could be living in heaven or hell. Right here, right in this dimension, right in your timeline, right now. There are people living in hell and people living in heaven and a lot in between. And that is a direct reflection of the reality everywhere. So whatever you choose. Strong words, I know. Okay, so thank you, Silvia. I believe God wants only good for everyone. So do I. And we got to start believing that too. That's why we got to love ourselves. Because we got to start believing that, because if you don't love yourself, how are you supposed to do that, right? We got to love ourselves, love ourselves. How do you love yourself? Start to learn. You might not be great at it at first, but start learning. And if you absolutely are terrible at loving yourself, ask God to teach you how. That's my thing. Go straight to the source. Okay, I had a dream. Shara says, I had a dream, or OBE. And by the way, we got 5 minutes left. If you want to say anything, if you want to super chat, like, comment, and you're sitting here, we got 5 minutes left. I had a dream while camping at the Native American grounds. I was told we are all one. Yes, yes, we are all one, experiencing separately. And isn't it fascinating? We do that. Oh gosh, I just remembered. I had a dream last night that I was holding these white and pink hummingbirds. And I was holding them in my hand and then letting them go to fly. And I thought to myself, these can't be hummingbirds. I have never seen white and pink hummingbirds. And they would just kept coming in my hand and going out. Just wanted to share that with you. Nicole White, Silvia, do you mind sharing the documentary you mentioned a bit ago? Reincarnation is very new to me. Yeah, with the word, right? Okay. I'll dig up in my history of my YouTube and then I'll post it below. It might take me about an hour after the show to do that because I can't remember if it was on my husband's channel or my channel, but we were watching it and it was talking about all of these biblical phrases that were directing directly to reincarnation. And hey, guess what? It doesn't even really, and not to you, Nicole, but to all of us, it doesn't really matter about the reincarnation, what was before, what is going to be. What matters is now. And somebody mentioned that to me in the post. They're like, who cares about reincarnation? All that matters is now. Kudos to you, because you're right. Because if you could get it right here where you are in this moment, in this time, regardless of whether reincarnation is real or not, well, who cares about what you did before? Who does? It helps us in the grand scheme of things understand why the heck we find ourselves in the place we are right now. It can help. But if you love yourself right now and you're willing to let go of all the junk and move forward with happiness and peace and joy from this moment on, have complete faith and walk in it, then you're good to go, right? But if you want to, think about the past, I'm pretty sure that there's nothing in my past that I care about one iota. I'm certain of it. I don't care. I don't care if somebody even told me, you did all of this stuff. It might give me a little bit more understanding as to why and who I am today, but I don't care. It's useless. It's gone. It's not here. It's nothing. What's here now is me, you, manifesting. See, we like to get caught up in things. It's almost like kids that don't want to do their homework. They'll watch TV, they'll play with the dog, they'll phone a friend, they'll do whatever. They'll text people. They'll play a video game, but they won't do their homework. And the thing, we're kind of like that. We want to see the past. We want to see this. We want to argue with people. We want to get into situations. We want to ruminate about our pain and suffering. I'm not being compassionate. I know that there's real pain, okay? And that's why we got to love each other. I talked about that earlier. When we see someone in real pain, we need to be there for that. But we don't need to waste our time. If we're perfectly fine and perfectly healthy and living our life, who cares about what was then? It's about now. That's why I think, I did make a topic about reincarnation, but at the same time, I don't think it's that relevant in the grand scheme of things at this moment. I think what's more relevant is where you're at right now, because you can do something about it, and you can be good, and you can make things happen and love yourself and love others and create heaven on earth right now. What happened before? Like, why do you think we forget before we come into this life? If it was that important for us to remember every single past life, and if you do believe in reincarnation, why don't you remember it? You remember only the essence of what worked for you, and you bring it into this life, right? And then you build upon that in a positive way. Again, it's possible there's negativity. I'm not all about that. This channel's not all about that. I want to stick with the positive. If you were an excellent piano player for a lifetime before, and suddenly at 3 years old you are a child prodigy and you know how to play the piano, something's going on there, right? What about these child prodigies? What about children that remember past lives to the T and they know all that? That's actually what got me thinking about reincarnation. But let's dig further. And I do believe in it, but let's dig further. What use is it to us? What use is it to us? All right, I'm going to read some comments before we go. I've often thought I was a Navy fighter pilot. Possibly. True, Sylvia. Yes, thank you, Lori. Preliminal. let the creator work source in your life and be good. Yes. And Nicole says, I totally agree. Very true. Anna says, Lori, I feel that you are so right. And then Lori says, Anna Rivera, no matter what your dad did, he's not in the evil realm. Right. Okay, so all the things that people did and stuff like that, that's where it's up to God to make that choice. I never want to judge. I had one time in my meditation, and I'm going to close up with this. One time in my meditation, I was crying and lamenting about the relationship with my mom, and she had just passed, so I was mourning. And I was like, you don't know how much pain this caused me, and I was in deep crying, and then God answered me, and I was like, what? And I don't share this usually because it's very personal, but I'm starting to more. Then he showed me my mom, and she looked really young, and a big gust of wind came, and he said, you see her, she's my daughter, like you are my daughter, and you are not going to judge her because you are both my daughters, and you need to take responsibility for your own life. What did I learn from that? Responsibility for your own life. For some reason, I didn't see the big picture. God knows what the big picture is. I had to learn that lesson. And as soon as I embraced that message from God to take responsibility for my own life and start loving people, stop worrying about the past and what happened, I'll get more clarity. My life, boom, blew up magnificently. I love it. I'm happy. I have so much joy. I let go of that guilt, fear, sadness, and I feel joyful. It's been replaced. And that's why I started this channel. That happened to me only last year. Yeah, okay, it took me 50 years to get there, but hey, late is better than never, right? All right, so amen, amen. And when some things are like truly devastating, I don't want to judge anyone. I don't want to say that that was supposed to happen to you. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know. God knows. But I do know this. If you take from this moment on and embrace faith in what's good and what's God, and take your power and be positive, you can make it happen. There's a link if you want to join my abundance program. It is there, and you could get on the wait list, and it's in the show notes. I would absolutely love it if you want to continue this Saturday show for you to like and post something positive. If you do feel like you still have questions about it, you're not sure about it, you didn't like something I said, or you really like something I said, post it in the comments, please, because it really does help. And thank you to everyone here who showed up on Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time and 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'll be here next Saturday for you and with you. And God bless your heart. Love yourself so much that it just squeezes out and spreads to everybody. Love, love, love. Have a great day. Thank you too. Kate, Lori, Sonia, Rhonda. I'm going to go over these. When I'm off this channel, I'm going to go over. And if you want to continue the conversation, I'll be checking my comments all day. So long.